Hello, my name is Noah, and today I would like to describe a method that involves storytelling and listening. This method should be used in groups when conflicts arise, for example, when doing a task together, planning a project, or spending a pleasant time together is no longer possible, or when extreme positions are taken and statements are made in groups that cannot be left unaddressed, or when dealing with young people who are already showing their first signs of extremist orientations. To ensure that disputes do not escalate further and people are included in the group again, it is helpful for those involved to talk and listen to each other. But why is storytelling so important? Storytelling is about remembering something I have experienced and creating a story. I tell a story from the beginning and how it continued until it was over. I activate my memory and recount how it happened. My past experience of situations plays like a film in my head. Suppose I just describe a situation or say why I did something. In that case, it is different from storytelling because I remain in the present without going into the past and detailing the course of action. Why listen? Storytelling is not just about me as a narrator, but also about those who listen to me. That is, it's about listening itself, and especially because those who listen closely want to understand what I'm saying. Because when I tell a story, listening helps the audience participate in my story. The listeners learn something about how I behaved and what my motivation and background are. In this way, they can better understand why I am doing something and why I act the way I do. How are storytelling and listening related? When I tell someone something about myself or listen to others when they tell something about themselves, then there is a greater chance of openness and trust between myself and others. When telling a story, more interest in one another arises through understanding, listening, and a friendly conversational atmosphere. Not only the listeners, but I too can learn something about myself and understand why I do something and behave the way I do. When is storytelling used? Typically, storytelling is used when people decide to remember something. For example, at the end of their life, people can recall and narrate their life story. This is called biography. Or if people have experienced something important, for example, war, political upheavals, or something similar, this is often called oral history. Or when young people have to make decisions during the transition from school to adult life, for example, deciding which profession they want to pursue. This is called biographical accompaniment. When do storytelling and listening in groups make sense? I can either tell a story and everyone listens to me, or I can invite people to share their own stories in groups. Group storytelling is especially helpful when, as we saw at the beginning of our video, conflicts arise, or when individuals or small groups push themselves more and more into the center of attention with their opinion, that is, wanting everyone to think like them. How does storytelling work? How do you prompt storytelling? How do you ask questions? The best and easiest way to get someone to start telling a story is to ask, "Oh yes? Tell me more." First, let them talk, listen carefully, and do not interrupt. You will know when it is time for you to ask questions. Ask about the situation addressed. The best thing to do is ask, "Please, can you be more specific?" or "Tell me more about it." Or, "Tell me about another situation that you experienced in this way." Avoid W questions. These are questions beginning with who, what, when, where, or why, such as, "Why did you do that? Where was that? Who was there?" If you ask questions like this, people feel dismissed and react quickly. Most of the time, you only get yes, no, or short answers. They don't stimulate the narrative and cause arguments or cause people to defend their actions. In a group, it is often difficult to talk about yourself immediately and thereby reveal something about yourself. But you can learn that. It is good that everyone realizes, step by step, that storytelling helps to resolve conflicts and does good. It is important that everyone in the group is invited to participate. Greater participation helps people be more willing to share. Of course, everyone in the group must be included, but nobody should be forced either. The best way to start is with those who show a willingness to speak. For example, when the narrator has finished speaking, you can actively ask questions yourself or call on others in the group who want to ask questions. Or you can ask, who has ever experienced something similar? Usually, it almost works by itself because everyone actually feels the need to tell their own stories. When very different opinions prevail in the group, for example, in your school class, and small groups have emerged that can no longer relate to each other, or one member of the group drifts into a particular scene and nobody knows what's going on with them, then it doesn't help to begin with questions like, "Why are you like this? Why are you doing this?" In such a moment, it is better to say, "Tell us about it." What are the benefits of storytelling and comprehensive listening? Telling stories and comprehensive listening can help individuals get in touch again, understand one another, de-escalate difficult situations, and find solutions before young people turn away completely and drift into extreme positions. Storytelling and comprehensive listening can help shape and strengthen relationships. It can strengthen a sense of community in groups. This way, everyone can get the feeling of being part of the group and belonging to the group. By letting people tell their stories and listening closely, listeners are more likely to be drawn in, especially in conflict situations, when a lack of understanding or willingness to take on the other person's perspective occurs. In this way, extreme positions and rigid stances can be reduced. And now, have fun trying it out! If you are now thinking, "I don't know if I can do it," or "I've never done it like this before," then it is best to just give it a try. This is the easiest in situations in which you feel comfortable, with friends, family, or others. Just ask your friend like this, "Tell me, what did you experience during the day?" If you'd like to say something about yourself right after your friend has said something about him or herself, don't do that. But instead ask, "Tell me more," and see how it goes. This is how you can find out how a conversation develops after you have asked someone to tell you something. Thank you for listening, and enjoy trying it out.